You know, I've always found it fascinating how when we look up at the sky, we're actually looking at something way bigger than we can imagine. Like, seriously. Have you ever stopped for a moment and thought about what's really up there? Here's something that'll blow your mind. Allah didn't just create one heaven, He created 7 of them. And get this, He also created 7 earths. 7 complete layers of both heaven and earth. Pretty incredible, right? But wait, because today I'm going to share something that'll completely change the way you see everything above you. There's this mind-blowing secret about the third heaven that most people don't know about. And trust me, once you learn about it, you'll never look at the sky the same way again. By the end of this video, you won't just understand these amazing creations. You'll know exactly how to use this divine wisdom to transform your daily life. Let's be real for a second. Most of us are just going through life looking down at our phones, rushing to work, worried about deadlines, and totally missing out on the incredible signs that are literally right above our heads. Think about it. When was the last time you actually stopped and looked up at the sky? Like, really looked up? Most of us feel so disconnected, right? We're all caught up in our little bubbles, feeling kind of lost, wondering about our place in this massive universe. You know what's crazy? We're all living under these magnificent 7 heavens, but we're acting like we're living under a tiny roof. It's like having a mansion, but only living in the closet. Can you imagine that? And here's the thing that really gets to me. Every single day, there are these amazing signs of Allah's creation happening right above us, but we're missing all of them. We're feeling small, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like we don't matter, when actually we're part of something so incredibly huge and meaningful. But don't worry, because today we're about to change all of that. I'm going to show you something that will make you see everything differently. And I mean everything. So, what exactly are we going to discover today? Well, I'm going to break it down into 3 mind-blowing parts that will change everything you thought you knew about our universe. First, we'll explore the incredible magnitude of these 7 heavens. And trust me, it's way bigger than you think. Then, we'll dive into the unique purpose of each celestial layer. This is where things get really interesting. And finally, I'll show you the perfect balance of it all, and how understanding this can literally transform your daily life. Ready? Let's dive right in. Let me start with something that just blows my mind every time I think about it. You know how when you're in an airplane you think you're flying really high? Well, that's not even close to the first heaven. Not even close. In the Quran, Allah tells us something absolutely incredible. He describes how He created these 7 heavens, each one stacked perfectly above the other. But here's the crazy part. The distance between each heaven is like the distance between the earth and the sky you see right now. Just try to wrap your head around that for a second. I mean, scientists today are just starting to understand the vastness of space, right? They're discovering new galaxies, new star systems, and guess what? They keep finding more and more layers to our universe. Isn't it amazing how modern science is catching up to what Allah told us centuries ago? But here's where it gets even more interesting. Each of these heavens serves a specific purpose. Think of it like a perfectly designed building where every floor has its own function. Except this isn't just any building. This is the most perfect creation ever made. You know what really gets me? The fact that all of this massive creation, these huge distances, these perfect systems, they're all held together without any pillars. Without any pillars, guys. Just think about that. Even the tallest building in the world needs massive support structures. But these heavens? They're held up by Allah's power alone. And here's a little secret that most people don't realize. Understanding this magnitude isn't just about appreciating how big everything is. It's about understanding how incredibly precise and intentional Allah's creation is. Every single detail has a purpose. I can literally see some of your minds being blown right now, but trust me, we're just getting started. Because what I'm about to tell you next about the structure of each heaven, well, that's going to take this to a whole new level. Now, let me tell you about something that's absolutely fascinating, the unique structure of each heaven. And I'll break this down in a way that'll make total sense, I promise. Let's start with the first heaven, the one closest to us. You know all those beautiful stars you see at night? That's actually the decoration of the lowest heaven. How amazing is that? It's like Allah created this beautiful ceiling right above us, filled with countless twinkling lights. But here's where it gets really interesting. The second heaven? It's got its own unique properties and characteristics. Scientists have discovered different layers in our atmosphere and space, each with its own unique elements and purposes. Sounds familiar, right? And then we get to the third heaven. Oh man, this is the mind-blowing part I promised you about earlier. This heaven is actually where specific angels are stationed, keeping track of all our good deeds. Think about that for a second. Every time you do something good, it's being recorded right up there. The fourth and fifth heavens? They're like cosmic highways, where different types of celestial beings travel, each serving their own divine purpose. It's like this incredible cosmic traffic system that never gets jammed up. Now, the sixth heaven. This is where it gets really special. It's made from a material that we can't even comprehend with our earthly understanding. Scientists today are still discovering new forms of matter and energy, but they haven't even scratched the surface of what exists up there. And finally, the seventh heaven, the grand finale. This is where the throne of Allah is mentioned to be. It's so magnificent that our human minds can't even begin to comprehend its true nature. But here's what's really going to blow your mind. Each of these heavens isn't just floating there randomly. They're all working together in this incredible system. It's like the world's most perfect symphony, where every instrument has its part, and together, they create something absolutely beautiful. You know what's crazy? When you really understand how these heavens are structured, you start seeing patterns in your own life. It's like Allah is showing us that everything needs its proper place and purpose, just like these heavens. And speaking of purpose, wait until you hear about how all of these heavens work together to create the most perfect balance in the universe. That's coming up next, and trust me, it's going to change how you see everything around you. Now, this is where everything comes together in the most beautiful way. Let me tell you about the perfect balance of these heavens, and trust me, this is going to blow your mind. You know how sometimes your life feels totally out of balance? Like you're juggling too many things, and nothing seems to fit together? Well, look up, because Allah has given us the perfect example of balance right above our heads. Think about this for a second. Each of these seven heavens is in perfect harmony with the others. Not a single one is too close or too far from the next. Not one is too big or too small. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. Here's what really gets me excited. Once you understand this divine balance, you start seeing opportunities to create this same harmony in your own life. It's like having a blueprint from Allah Himself. And you know what the best part is? This balance isn't some impossible goal. If Allah can maintain perfect harmony between seven enormous heavens, don't you think He can help you find balance in your life too? But before I tell you exactly how to apply this wisdom to transform your daily life, let me ask you something. Are you starting to see how understanding these heavens isn't just about astronomy or religion? It's about understanding life itself. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to take all of this knowledge and use it to create real positive changes in your life. You know, when I first started learning about these seven heavens, I thought it was just going to be interesting facts about space and creation. But it turned out to be so much more than that. Every single time I look up at the sky now, I'm reminded of this incredible system that Allah created. And it's not just about the size or the structure. It's about the message behind it all. Think about it. If Allah put this much thought and purpose into the heavens above us, imagine how much thought and purpose He put into creating you, into creating your life, your path, your purpose. And that's the real beauty of understanding Allah's creation. It helps us understand ourselves better. But hey, this isn't the end of the journey. It's just the beginning. If this video opened your eyes to something new today, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps spread this knowledge to others who might need it. And hey, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of the 7 heavens fascinated you the most? What did you learn today that really surprised you? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we've got so much more to explore about Allah's amazing creation. Trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share this video with them. Sometimes all it takes is one piece of knowledge to change someone's entire perspective. Here's something beautiful to think about as we wrap up. The next time you feel small or overwhelmed by life's challenges, just look up. Remember that you're part of something incredibly vast and perfectly balanced. Remember that the same Allah who holds these 7 heavens in place is watching over you too. And if you're still wondering about Allah's plan for your life, you absolutely need to watch this video right here. Don't question Allah's plan until you watch this. It's going to complement everything we just learned and take your understanding to a whole new level. See you in the next one.